popularity. Who's more popular right now? Cooper DeJean. Let's not put Hurts in there. Who's more popular than Cooper DeJean on that Eagle team right now? Who's more popular? Barkley? I don't know. Who's more popular. Jesus Christ. All right. 4th of July week, folks. Absolutely great times. One of my favorites. Get a chance to honor our military. One of the best weeks of the year. It is fireworks, food, and soon to be football. We are 22 days out from the start of training camp. Yes, I have the clock running. And we are actually tomorrow 15 days from the Chargers showing up to training camp, which will kick off the NFL season and let us know where we're going here with all that down there partying with Cooper DeJean. Oh, by the way, real quick, I really was great to see all the team there at the Devontae Smith softball tournament, except for His Highness. He was out in Malibu hanging out with Meghan Markle, and Oprah and shit down there, down at the beach. He's got is it gala or gala? Because, Philadelphia, I don't know if you guys go to galas or galas, but Hurts was out in Malibu hanging out with his toes in the sands. He's out there with Oprah Winfrey. He's hanging out with Jimmy Kimmel. There's Cooper DeJean banging beer cans off his head. That's totally Philly. I don't know. Jalen's like hanging out, name dropping with Jordan and shit. I don't know. It just seems a little different. I'll just Time Man of the Month and shit and all that. I get it. All that aside here, the man who's co-hosting Birds 365 with the curmudgeon one himself, John McMullen, he is my friend, Big Z. Zander Krause, how you doing this 4th of July? My brother.
What is up, Big Sills? 4th of July, like you said, a good week here on JAKIB Sports, my friend.
Man, so everybody was there at the Devontae Smith, hanging out, having a good time. And then there he is, man. He's out in Malibu hanging out with Jimmy Kimmel. He's out there at night doing all the night shows. I mean, damn. I just got you. Boy, your boy's turning out to be a superstar, man. I mean,
he really is, man. It's Jalen. Sills, it's Jalen's world, and we're just living in it, my friend. Yes. It's Jalen's world. I think you got a little case of this, though. I think you got a little case of we call it HDS. We call it Hertz derangement syndrome. I think Sileo got a little bit of that.
No. See, I never get hung up on cabooses. I only get hung up on engines. So you don't have to worry about me getting a little aggravated with cabooses here. But no, hey man, I'm gonna keep asking this question to you about your boy Cooper, man. I mean, dog. I mean, surely the Eagles. Knowing the Eagles, dude, they told BG get off the air. How do you think they're looking at this? Do you think they do this when they see this guy cracking beer cans and doing? He's having a fun time. He's not doing anything stupid. He's totally not. But I mean, how do you see this?
I think he's a effing star, dude. That's what I think. I think this kid is an absolute star. I think Smitty's right. I think it is fascinating watching a white dude not only play cornerback, but be damn good at it. I'm not one of those people that likes to slap race around on everything. I don't really care, but I do think it adds to the hype of the player. Yeah, I mean, it is cool to see. And he just keeps winning at everything he does. I mean, the guy's tossing up alley-oops with the team. He's hitting grand slam home runs at the softball game. He's having pick sixes on Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy has the world at his fingertips, no doubt about it. And I call him Cooper Shiesty.
Hey, wait a minute. I like this. Cooper's the next Gronk?
It's not bad. Gronk's a little more goofy than Coop, though.
Yeah, he's not goofy.
Yeah, Coop isn't that goofy.
Yeah, Coop's not goofy, though.
You can tell he's living it up. I mean, look, the guy's 22.
But he's got a personality.
He's living like he's 22, isn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, he's living good. That's for damn sure.
Hey, dude, you don't really think he's the best athlete on the team?
I don't know. I mean, athlete, I think is a different question. I think A.J. Brown's the best athlete on the team. I got
Mulata.
Mulata's a pretty damn good athlete, too. Lane Johnson's a pretty damn good athlete. Jalen Hurts is a pretty damn good athlete.
Yep.
I don't think Cooper's the best at. I think he's up there. I think he's one of those guys, but I don't know if he's the best. I mean, look, it's a professional football team. They got a lot of good athletes.
This is another grand slam here I told you guys, this guy here is going to be better than Quinyon Mitchell. And I think he is. And I think he's going to be better than him not because Q, by the way, do I think Q is a fabulous? Yes, he's a fabulous talent. It's not a diss, but I do think that this guy's going to be utilized more, and Vic sees him more. He's going to have more opportunities, Xander, to make bigger plays because of his versatility. You're not taking Quinyon Mitchell out of that corner spot. What are you going to do? Drop him in the nickel? You're not doing that. So he's going to be isolated to one side of the field, right?
Yeah, and let's be real. I mean, part of on the football field, we can have this discussion, and I'm good with it. Like Cooper might be better than Quinyon, but when it comes to stardom, Cooper checks a lot more boxes than Quinyon does from an off the football field perspective. Right? Quinyon's a more subdued dude. Like, you don't see Quinyon on every podcast. No. You don't see Quinyon down at the Jersey Shore shotgunning beers and running on parade floats and all this thing. So, there's an element to it that Cooper's kind of embraced it a little bit more than Quinyon. But on the football field, I think both of them have just such a bright future. I mean, these are two dudes. And, so as I was thinking about this over the weekend, is there any concern about two players that were rookies that played so good last year coming into another year? Like, 1 year is great, but can you replicate that? I think is a harder question. And I keep falling back on, man, am I confident in these two guys? And I likened it to this in my head. When Devontae Smith came back year 2, I didn't think he might regress. I just said, that's a guy that's good in the NFL. When Jalen Carter was coming in for year 2, I didn't think he was going to regress. I said, that's a guy that can play in the NFL. That's how I feel about Cooper and Quinyon coming into this year. And it's no guarantee that they're going to be great, but man, I think those two guys have everything it takes and everything they need to succeed at the highest level in football. And it should be a good one this year, Big Sills. If they grace the top 5 defense overall, you might kick me off the show 3 times a week. You might kick me off 3 times a week.
I make great content because I don't believe it, and I do not believe it.
Yeah, you didn't believe it last year. You told me Lindbergh.
I know.
They Lindberghed their cheese into one of the greatest defenses in history.
The chances of you duplicating that is 0. I will say this.
It's like they were Lindbergh cheese last year.
Okay, like I said, the odds are completely on my side, not yours.
Okay, yeah. The odds were against the Eagles last year, too. Right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. How many times have you ever had the number 1 defense back-to-back in the NFL or top 5?
Well, how many times did they have it coming off a collapse?
Oh, okay. You're right.
How many people projected them to be as good as they were?
No, you're right. There's a great chance you'll be in the top 5 this year. Hey, listen, I do have
wait, question for you. You think the defense falls where? Like top 15?
Something like that.
But and what about the offense? Top 15?
Closer to 12. Closer to 12.
Top 15?
Yeah.
Offense?
Oh, no. Yeah.
That's what you got for offense and defense?
Yeah. 12, something there.
All right. So if I hear you say the word caboose next year when they go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to have your head on.
Oh, no. He has to play that way. Because the defense is going to
That's no caboose.
Because, wait a minute. Because here's what's definitely going to have to happen here. You're playing with, how about this? Even if you don't want to admit it, lesser players, you're playing with lesser experienced players. I don't care what you want to say about this guy or that guy. You're playing with lesser players that in experience alone, let alone the guys who are going to play 700, 800 reps. It's impossible to sit here and say that 5 guys are going to play north of 750 snaps. That's insane to sit there. But hey, look at you. You're all ready to rock. Now, you made a point here about Q and Cooper. Okay? Who were Q and Cooper playing next to last year? Let's see. So you had CJ in the secondary and you had Slay in the secondary. You said, do you think there could be a potential? Are we putting too much in? Well, who are they playing next to this year? Okay? They're playing next to a rookie and they're playing next to a first-year starter. So the difference with a year ago for those young players versus this year going into their second year, yes, these two dudes are going to be asked to do more because you have less experience in the
Yeah, I
secondary.
agree. I mean, last year they were playing next to Slay and CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Correct.
Now it's just Reed and youngsters. So
Right.
there's no doubt that's a big change.
No. I do think, again, they elevate their game because
they have to. That's where you are right. They have to elevate. Now I think they're gonna. You might not. I think they're gonna, but you are right. They have to elevate.
I don't think they're not going to fail. I think the guys around them are not going to help them as much.
Well, if Cooper elevates to where I expect him to elevate to, and Quignon becomes the corner I expect him to become, and Reed is consistent like I expect Reed to be, then I believe that makes life a lot easier on both Makuba and Keely Ringo. If those guys don't step up and they're the same as they were last year, well, you're right. It's not going to be as pretty.
Let me ask you this. Do you think CJ and Slay made life easy for Cooper and for Q a year ago?
They made it easier when they were on the field. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
I mean, that's two guys that know how to play. They have playmaking ability. I mean, they were veterans in the way they communicated on the field, the way they played their positions and all those different things. You lose that, you lose a little bit. But again, this is where you're right. It comes to even Reed, even Cooper, Quinn, those guys have to take another step forward or else you're not going to have the experience you needed. Now, one thing I will say that I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's worth a whole lot, but I was listening to Devontae Smith talk at his softball game, and I guess they did some media. I don't know. He had a press conference, but somebody asked him who he was most impressed with of the rookies, and he said, that safety from Texas I'm impressed by. Now, no, Makuba.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means anything, but like John used to tell me, John says, he says this to me all the time. He says, the reason I'm confident in Keely Ringo right now before seeing him play is because A.J. Brown used to tell me in the locker room, that guy's going to be a good football. Like, that guy is good. And if I hear Devontae Smith tell me, hey, Makuba's impressive, and Devontae Smith is as good of a player as he is playing in the NFL, that gives me a little bit more of a sense of confidence in that player that his game will translate to the pros.
Here's why they're probably saying that right now in helmets and shorts. Because what you're doing is you're inundating these young players and these first-year starters with so much information. And if you're able to absorb it and you're able to apply it and adapt it to your game, and you don't have to be told numerous times technique, where to line up. I can't tell you, Zander, how important it is for a young player just to even know where to line up in the proper technique. 1 inch different with a step or a deep step or a slide step or what have you, a false step at linebacker, you're out of position. It is such a technique league. And that's why when you're hearing players like AJ and you're hearing players like Devontae Smith who go against these guys every day, they're talking about these guys must be skilled with technique, which means they're being coached great by Christian Barker, which means they're practicing what's going on every day, which is a great sign.
I agree.
I mean,
I agree. Christian Parker's pretty impressive, dude. Listening to him, he's impressive. And he's done a good job with the secondary.
I think he's going to be a DC before even Bobby King is going to be, or maybe even Clint Hurd. Clint may be the heir apparent in Philadelphia one day, and maybe they're working towards this. I heard you guys talking about Trotter. I want to ask you one more time. What are you? And by the way, super chats will be read. Please hit the like button, guys. Why are you impressed with him? I want not what you hear from Vic. I want what you have seen with your eyeball test.
I don't know about impressed. I'm not impressed with him. I'm confident in his skill set, and I'm confident in his understanding of the game, and I'm confident in Vic's ability to pull the most out of a player. So some guys are good enough to play in the league, and they never play as good as they should play. I don't know if you think you're a case of that, but I think you were well talented enough to have a career in the NFL. Now, whatever the reason, where you played at the wrong spot, did you not have the right coach, not the right situation, whatever those things might be, I believe that in the Eagles locker room, and the proof is in the pudding of how good they've been coaching-wise and organizationally in the last decade, I think they have the right system to pull the most out of players. Yes. And I think you look at Trotter, you look at his base, You look at where he grew up. He grew up, obviously, the son of Jeremiah Trotter, an NFL guy, a really good NFL player here in Philly. Understands Philly, went to school at St. Joe's Prep, grew up in this city, played college ball at a big program in Clemson. I think he's gotten every step of the way, he's prepared himself for this moment. And now you attach that to a coach in the NFL who, turned that defense last year into one of the best defenses we've ever had, more so than even Gang Green. And let's be real, they weren't as talented as Gang Green, but they might have been better than Gang Green.
They were.
I think they're going to pull the most out of them. So I don't think it's impressed. I don't think that's the right word, because to be impressive, you have to be on the field and make plays and wow me like Bond did last year, like Coop did last year, like Quignon did. I don't think he's done that yet, but I am confident in the structure around him and the player to flourish in that structure.
How about this? If you fail in Philly, okay, you fail because of your ability, not because of opportunity, because they're going to give you the best opportunity. And like you said, they're going to give you the best coaching that they can possibly do to give you the best shot for you to make. Look at what they're doing with Steen. Are they not giving Steen? Are they not giving Steen the best opportunity to be a Philadelphia Eagle?
That's true.
Right?
It's true. I think it's ability, but I also think it's off the field stuff too. I do think the Eagles like a particular type of player.
Yes.
And I don't think – I think you can get in your own way in Philly. Example would be Gardner Johnson, right? Obviously a guy who played well in the football fields, but didn't have a long career here because he just bothered the front office a little bit too much. He wasn't worth it to them. So I think that's the only other thing. But I do agree with your sentiment of, they give their players chances. Yes. I mean, even Anais Smith last year, most other teams probably would have cut him last year.
Absolutely.
And they didn't. They kept him around. They're going to give him another chance in training camp this year. He can go out and earn it again. So I do think you're right about that.
Let me tell you what I love about what you guys do. Once you draft a guy, whether he's in the 6th round or he's in the 1st round, you treat him like he's a 1st rounder, even when he's in the 6th, like you said, I'm not keeping fucking Anais Smith. I don't see nothing in that guy. But you know what they do? They do. And to me, you're getting an opportunity. Zander, it's not about your first 3 draft picks. It's how you treat 4, 5, 6, and 7 is how I'd look at an organization. Don't you think the last 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, whatever the hell I've been on, every single year, you guys give those dudes every opportunity. Shit, you drafted a center in the 7th round. He's now part of the Rams. I mean, they picked him up off the practice squad. Remember, then they signed him, and he's now with the Rams or something. That kid you got from NC State. Every guy gets –
Covey?
No, the center. Remember
yeah. What's his name? Dylan McMahon? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that guy. Something like –
Yeah, it's the only draft pick I've seen us move on from in the last couple of years.
That's right. That's one of the quicker ones here. Let me tell you why I went to Trotter here. Do you not agree? Nakobe Dean's future is based on how Trotter plays. Now, follow me. If Trotter's good, where are you playing John Campbell? Someone, either Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, or Dean are off the field. And here, follow me here on this one. Someone has to come off the field. You did not draft a guy 31 to be a rotation piece.
I think Dean's going.
Because you said this. He has no path to stay on the team. Only way he has a path is if Trotter sucks. And if Trotter's good, Dean's has no shot of being on this team. Is that fair?
Even if Trotter stinks, last year you had Dean and Burks. Coming in this year, you have Trotter and Dean when he's healthy. In the future, I think it's Campbell and Munden.
Huh?
Like I don't think even if Trotter stinks, that the plan would be Nakobe Dean. And again, I might be wrong on this, but they've had 2 linebackers at that spot. They've already got Bond locked down. I think the 2 would morph into Jihad and Munden in the future versus Jihad, Munden, and then you bring back Nakobe Dean. Now, it does give you more versatility if they want to use Jihad Campbell, in the NASCAR or off the edge or any of those different things. Now, maybe that's what Jihad Campbell becomes, more of like a Micah Parsons type of player where he can rush the passer more than we think. And maybe that would open up a path for Dean. But if Jihad Campbell's not rushing the passer a lot, I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
They want after Bond's deal? So you don't think they want Dean and Campbell to be the future linebackers for the Eagles?
Well, Bond's here for another 2 years at least.
Okay.
So after
you don't
that,
think in 3 years that their vision would be Dean and Campbell?
I mean, with all due respect to Nakobe Dean, is anybody planning for 3 years from now on Nakobe Dean? Like, look, I love the player. He had a great year last year, but like, I'm taking it year by year on him. You know what I mean? Like, he gets injured too much. He's a great player when he's on the field. He proved that last year, but I can't make a plan for 3 years from now around Nakobe Dean. Come on. And I just can't. So that's where I wonder about it, but we'll see. I mean, I don't see the path though for Nakobe, unfortunately, because I really do like the player and I think he fits our system. I think he checks the character box I just mentioned that the Eagles love. I think he has all of those great traits. He's a smart dude, obviously an engineering major in college at Georgia. I think he checks every box you would want in a player, but at the end of the day, it is a business. This isn't fantasy football. It's not Madden. It's not, recess out back. It's a business. So I don't see the future with him.
How about this? I got an insight today from the Miami Dolphins, talking to Drew Rosenhaus today, that the Dolphins have been going around looking at availability of tight ends and contacted Howie Roseman. Not again.
Really? Because it feels like the Dolphins are selling.
The Dolphins are looking for a tight end.
Ramsey today. What'd you think what the Steelers did?
I think they got older.
Yeah, they're old, man.
I mean, does that look like the Alexander deal now? When
you got Ramsey, you got Slay. I know they got Joey Porter in there too at corner.
They moved Malachi. They moved what's his name? Malik. Malachi. What's his name? They moved him out of the secondary. What is it? What did the guy? The kid from Alabama. They moved him out of the secondary.
Minkah Fitzpatrick.
They moved him out, and they moved Miami. Or Pittsburgh moved him down to Miami, and then you added Jalen Ramsey. His best years are probably in Jacksonville and LA with the Rams. I mean, I think they were, I don't know. You have an older Slay, you have an older Ramsey. Did you see the price tag for that thing too? It was $26.5 million.
That's a little rich for me, dude. That's rich for me.
26.5 for an older player like that, whose best years are back 9. I don't know, dude.
I've never been a huge Jalen Ramsey guy. I don't know what it is. I know he's a good player. I'm not here to tell you.
He was great in Jacksonville.
He's a great player. I know. I'm just not a Jalen Ramsey fan. There's just something about the dude I don't like. I don't know what it is. It's one of those things.
I think Slay was better.
Slay was good.
I think Slay was better than him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't know. Ramsey
they're different systems.
They're different. Corner. I mean, Ramsey is one of the best lockdown corners. He's a true lockdown corner, but they're different. But yeah, I can appreciate both.
Yeah, I absolutely. So, well, let me ask you this then. Okay, so I read that article that he did with the Eagles.com, Jihad Campbell. Do you find it weird that they drafted a guy they don't know what they're going to do with, or do you think that's just public stuff? And they know what they're going to do with him? Because, I mean, he made comments. He goes like this. Yeah, don't worry. We're going to get to all the supers. I promise, guys. He's like, hey, I just, wherever they want to play me, I'll play wherever. What's the plan with him? Like, what are they going to do with him? Are they going to really play him inside? What are they doing?
Question. This is how I would look at it. I would assume this is how the Eagles are looking at it, but I'm also not so self-absorbed to think that the way I view it is the way they view it. But this is my answer to your question, because I do think you're right. There's a lot of gray area here to spend a first-round pick on a player, and is there more than meets the eye? I think the Eagles have what they believe would be a floor for the player and what they would believe would be a ceiling for the player. And I think they felt good enough taking him where they took him, because they were at the end of the first round, knowing that the floor could be an off-ball linebacker, but the upside could be a Micah Parsons level edge rusher that is versatile, can drop in coverage, can do all these different things. That's how I would view it. What's your floor? What's your ceiling? Is the player fit what you want within that scope? And then obviously you hope and you develop and you do the things you need to do to try and reach that ceiling. Doesn't mean they're gonna, but I think you're probably right. I don't think they know exactly what he's going to be. Like I said, I think they have a hope. I think they have a plan, and I think they have a vision for him, but that's no guarantee that he realizes or achieves that mission or that goal or that vision that they have.
You know, there was conversation of this, and again, this is hindsight conversation here on what I'm going to ask you here, okay? So let me throw this at you. Where was that pick again? I want to go down here because I remember Howie saying there was talk of them moving up to 22 where the Chargers were. Okay, so Walter Nolan goes 16, 6 picks earlier. You'd think if Walter Nolan had been there where the Chargers were and Campbell was there, what player do you think they would have took?
If they traded up to 22?
Yeah, where the Chargers are, because didn't Howie say he was talking to trading up there?
The Chargers. Wait, what? Who'd you?
The Chargers took a receiver, I think.
Yeah. So what are you saying? Who would they take instead?
Oh, they took a running back.
No, who are you saying the Eagles could have taken instead, though?
No, what I'm saying is, if Walter Nolan was there instead of going to Arizona at 16, if Walter Nolan was there, who do you think they would have took? Walter Nolan or Campbell?
It's a good question, and it's hard to answer because you don't know how the Eagles had Walter Nolan graded versus now know how they had
Jordan Davis.
Huh?
Or how they think of Davis.
Yeah, but I also think it even more comes down to Walter. Like if they had Walter graded in their top 15, like they've now told us they had Campbell, maybe they would have taken the defensive lineman. But if they didn't have him graded top, remember, Walter Nolan was one of those guys where a lot of people had him graded high, and some people had him second round. So I don't know where the Eagles were on him, but it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see. I think Campbell was who they wanted, though, man. They targeted that trade up for Campbell, and he kept falling. Remember, they couldn't get the trade through. They were trying 23, 24, 25, 26. They couldn't get the trade through. So he kept falling. And they took him. I think there's a small red flag there with why he kept falling, but I think the Eagles have earned the benefit of the doubt to draft. Like I'm not going to sit here and question right now. They're on a run right now.
Player's ability.
Their system is clearly working when it comes to the NFL draft. You know, I got faith in that. I got trust that it's going to work out with him. I love the player. I watched him at University of Alabama. Obviously, I'm a Bama guy.
I think he's fabulous.
Yeah, he's going to be a good player. The question is how good, in my opinion. And where. All right, bro. Which is answered by how good.
Yeah. Well, I got it.
He's a superstar. You know he's rushing the passer.
Listen, dude. You had a conversation today, and it made me sick.
Uh-oh. Which one?
Okay, bro. We're going into year 4. How many fucking conversations are you going to have about somebody being in shape? Come on, man.
I'm with you on that.
Right?
I'm with you on that. I mean, I don't know. You played defense.
Bro, you and me are talking about Trotter being whether he,
Yeah, but did you hear the one thing John said that was interesting to me of the Jordan Davis being in shape thing? And Jordan Davis, what the Eagles are asking Jordan Davis to be the big ass mother effer basically that he is, clog up the middle and take up space. Now there is a catch-22 that me and John talked about this morning a little bit where it's like with Trotter, with Bone, with Carter, you're like getting shape. With Jordan, you're like, you can't lose too much weight or else you're not going to be an effective nose. So how do you gauge, like, in its nature, getting in shape calls for more cardiovascular strain and activity. A lot of those things are weight loss inducing activities. It's not like going in the weight room and just lifting weights or bench pressing. Anybody who's ever been to the gym knows that doesn't necessarily make you more, fit for cardiovascular activity. It doesn't. I used to go to the gym in college. Believe me, I could pump iron. I couldn't run a fucking mile. All right. So it's different. Now, I don't know. I don't know if that's an excuse. It's really not. You're a football player. Figure it the hell out. But I think that's maybe there's some merit to it. And I'm with you. Let's go. Like either it's this year or bust, but I like Jordan. I think Jordan's a good player, man. I don't know. what the Eagles want out of
I,
him.
I don't want to have a conversation when the first thing is out of our mouth. What kind of shape he's in?
I
And
agree
like
with
you
that.
said something that was so good. He's so good. You're like, has the conditioning conversation been put behind? No. I don't want to start. I want to start this. The guy makes a flat step. He needs to not take false steps at line. Well, fuck, reps are going to take care of that. Or this, the guy gets in a wheel route and the guy can turn him around like Cooper DeJean got turned around by Adam Thielen. He'll learn from that. I can't have this. Well, is he going to be in shape? You think the conversation is now behind him on conditioning? Bro, I'm done with this. And until further notice, like Jeff Kurd says, that's going to be a stain on this kid until this kid can show you that he – do you know that, in my opinion, how good you guys were a year ago? Just follow me, Zander. Can you imagine if that guy was ready to play in all 17 to 20 games, how fucking even more immense you would be? You'd have the best duo in football, wouldn't you, at D-tackle?
In theory.
How he drafted those two guys for a reason. Why? To be the two best tackles in football. They even went to Georgia to get the two teammates to play next. Do you know how rare that is to go like this for a GM? I'm not only going to draft one of them, I'm going to get the other kid that played next to him, and I'm going to put the faith of the defense and the
backer.
And the backer. You're going to get this. I'm going to put the whole triangle on the Eagles. And then you're sitting there going like, all you have to do, kid, is just be in shape.
Yeah, but that's the question. Is he doing what they wanted him to do in that triangle? He is.
Yeah, but why would the coach come out and say, I'm not answering the question why he wasn't ready to play at the beginning of the year?
Well, because that's Vic Fangio. I mean, he's an old school dude. He doesn't want any excuses. But again, like I do bring up the catch-22. Like Steve Ike says this. He says, JD is doing his thing. He looks like he's slimmed down to me. Well, the only reason Steve Ike is saying that is because Steve wants Jordan to be more in shape because we think that's an issue. Well, guess what, Steve? And I say this with respect. You know I love you, Steve. I don't think we want him to be slimmed down. That's the point. Like, I don't think he could be as good of a nose tackle slimmed down as he would be if he were a fat ass. Like, look at Vita Vea. Do you have to ask if Vita Vea is in condition? Maybe, but you know you need that dude to be fat to be good. So it's kind of like, I don't want him to be slimmed down. Do I want him to handle his body weight as best as he can to be able to play every down and when the Eagles need him? Yes. Is that a complex issue for a guy who's trying to maintain his body weight, not cut too much of it down, convert more of it to muscle, maintain his cardiovascular? Like that's a complex thing. He's got to get with an elite trainer who knows how to train him. I mean, well, let me, okay. So Carter's like 310, right? 305?
Yeah, I think like 310, 315.
Okay. I mean, I watched a 305-pound guy crush people in the middle. I'm just saying. I mean, you're not wrong. Vita Vea is 346 pounds. 300, and at times when he goes on IR and he comes back, he's 356.
Yeah, that's a big boy, Vita Vea, there, man.
Okay. He's a big dude, and I think that's what caused him.
Dude, it's like a full-time job. Tell these people, you used to play DT. It's a full-time job keeping on your weight. I'm telling you,
season, it's
dude, these guys have to, part of their job is budgeting time to eat food. Right. They need to get plates of food, thousands of calories to maintain their weight.
Yep.
It's a real thing. So I do think there's like, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know the
No. She was my wife, my girlfriend at the time. When I was 390, by the middle of the season, dude, do you know how many milkshakes and fucking stupid shit I'd have
390? You were playing at 390?
I'm sorry, 290, 291.
You were 390.
No, 290, 291, 293 in there. When I was
290. Was that your playing weight at Miami?
Yeah, 293. Yeah, I ran 4.8s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerome ran 4.8s at 325 pounds, but this was fucking 38 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Hey, I mean, we're playing against 290-pound linemen. Today, these guys are 375 pounds. Hey, couple last ones here for you. Then we're going to get to the supers. Please hit the like button here. Gary Cobb, by the way, will be with us at 4:45. He's at an event right now, so just to be a little bit past the time down at the bottom of the hour. So, Zander, you're going to have to make sure during this football season that you call me out on one thing.
Oh, I'll call you out. What is
Okay?
it?
I want you to call me out on one thing. Ready? When I say that they need more preseason football, make sure you tell me, shut the fuck up. Okay? Because I have to get away from that old school mentality, because I've never seen in the 4 years that I've been covering your football team going into the 5th year now, I've never seen a healthier football organization in my entire life. I'm going to knock on wood, folks. Okay?
Put that in the Nick Sirianni win column.
Yeah, because you think Nick did that.
I do.
I happen to think that Howie and the doctors did that.
Well, I don't. I think it's partly on them, but I think they have a coach that understands that wants to know more about what it's like to be a player, and also relate to the coaches. Where Vic Fangio would come in and say, blah, 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 we need more practice. And it's great. Vic is great. He's a great defensive coordinator. This is why Nick is a good head coach, because he bridges all of the gaps that are necessary to bridge. And he does it. His players like playing here. They want to play for this team. They want to play for this organization. The results speak for themselves, and everything is clicking.
You think they play here because Nick's here?
I think he makes it more enjoyable for them to play here. They don't.
Okay,
I mean, nobody
probably
plays anywhere because of a coach. Nobody.
Well, no, I pay because you pay me up front. And
well, that's what I'm saying.
everything
But
really
that's true for 100% of teams and 100% of players in the league. Let's be
100%
real.
of the teams don't
Nobody.
have money up front.
No coach, though, has the gravitas for a player to not take a big contract somewhere else. No coach. So I'm not holding that against Nick.
Yeah, when they give me that bag of money instead of the promise money, and here you want to come play in Philly.
You know, my favorite part about you, Sileo, is you find all these little intricate ways to give the team credit, and it's great. It's awesome to listen to. But the minute I try and define who that credit falls on the shoulder,
Nick gets no credit.
You just erupt. Jalen Hurts, no. Caboose. Nick Sirianni, no. So the head coach and the quarterback stink, but we got one of the most successful teams in the last 5 years.
Wait a minute. I'm going to do this to you now. Do you think comparing Jalen Hurts to a guy like Bob Greasy is a bad thing?
Jalen Hurts is a superstar.
Okay, wait a minute. Like I said, well, Bob Greasy wasn't. He just won 3 straight conference
titles.
Jalen
Hurts ain't no fucking Bob Greasy, man.
Hey, guess what, folks? So again, okay, here's a guy that won 3 conference championships in a row, 2 Super Bowls in a row, and is a Hall of Fame player, and is a guy who was on an undefeated football team. That's a slap in the face?
I guarantee you Jalen Hurts' legacy
will never accomplish that.
Oh, come on.
3 in a row.
Jalen Hurts will be remembered.
3 Super Bowls in a row.
Jalen Hurts will be remembered far more than Bob Greasy will be remembered.
Yeah. Well, then you got a couple more Super Bowls to get to. And
I think they're coming.
And an undefeated season to go through.
I think they're coming.
So
I don't know about undefeated season.
The most accomplished football team of all time. Do you know that? That is the most accomplished team of all time. You got an undefeated team, 2 Super Bowl wins, and 3 conference championships. How you doing? And you got a Hall of Fame coach, not a flashlight holder.
Give me Jalen Hurts.
Who?
Give me Jalen Hurts.
Who? How you doing, bitches?
No, wait, let's read Kimberly's because she just snuck out on a work break to send us a super chat. We'll get to all super chats. Kimberly, thank you. I said last week, Monday got drafted to replace Dean. Yeah, you're probably right, Kimberly. Probably right on that. Campbell and Munden, a combination.
Trotter's the key to this, though. I'm telling you, Zander, if Trotter blows, how are you getting rid of Dean?
You got Munden and Jihad.
How are you getting rid of Dean? You got Munden on a rookie contract.
Yeah, but you got Campbell.
Okay. So I have Campbell and Dean and Bond. That's not awful.
Well, listen, if Trotter blows this year, you replace him when Dean gets healthy with Dean. If you go into 2026 season, you're going to have Munden going into year 2. You're going to have
On a rookie deal.
Fahad Campbell fully healthy on a rookie deal, and you're going to have Zach Bond.
You're cheaper.
You're cheaper, and you still got the bodies you need to have
cheaper.
depth
You're right.
and have 3 guys.
They're gonna move on from Dean because he's eligible for money. Munden and Campbell are on.
I don't think Trotter's going to blow, though. I think Trotter's going to be all right. He might not be a superstar, but I think Trotter's going to be a good.
Do you think they'd be okay with him being a rotating guy?
Maybe. I think he's going to be like an Oren Burks was late in the year. Like, not a guy that you build your defense around, but a guy that does his job well. And that's what you need. That's what you need at that position, I think.
Man, I of all the guys, the backups between Isaiah and Oren Burks, boy, I'll tell you, I think that Burks deal, because you could plug him in and there wasn't really any drop-off in the postseason. I mean, I don't know. I appreciate you guys. All right, Zander, let's get to some of these supers. Gary Cobb's going to join us. That'll be at the bottom, or at 45. At 4:45, he's going to join us.
Leon Banks. What up, Leon? He says, Debo really going to be wide receiver 1 in DC. Terry's not signed. Yeah, they got Leon. I told you, Leon.
Leon.
3rd place in the NFC East, Leon. It's coming for the communists.
Let me hook you up, Leon. I had a good convo with Doug Williams. They will have him signed. And here's what they'll do. You don't have a quarterback and get rid of receivers unless he's Patrick Mahomes. They brought in Debo. Debo's a 2 and a 3. Okay? Don't worry. Even a fat Debo will outrun. Will take it to
I just have a PSA, a public service announcement for all of our great Washington football
Washington
fans.
will win the East.
I have a public service announcement. It was awesome having you guys at the party for 1 season. I'll see you in 20 years, you fucking scrubs.
Yeah. Hey, every single player that is replacing all these guys is going to be an upgrade.
Yeah, I'll see you in another decade.
Be an upgrade from a year ago. How you doing?
Kyle Kokorski, what up, Kyle?
He
says, I'll know this. If Buddy Ryan was here, he would rip Private Powell a new one. Oh, my God. I miss Buddy Ryan. If Buddy was here, this would never happen. We didn't win shit with Buddy. All right? We didn't win shit with Buddy Ryan. Quit holding in the glory days, which ultimately were not glory days because they didn't bear any fruit for the city, for the organization, for the team, and start appreciating what's happening, Kyle. This is the best era of Eagles football ever. And Buddy Ryan's era can't hold a candle to it if it continues at this rate.
Here's the difference, though, Kyle. Okay, Buddy Ryan did not have Jeffrey Lurie. He had Norman Brayman.
That's true.
And everything now is like what Zander said. Here's the one thing you can't do. You can't replace Nick. You can't replace Hurts. You can't replace Jeffrey Lurie. And you can't replace Howie. It's the perfect sitcom, dude. It's like Seinfeld. You're not going to get new role players for that series. You have to roll with this. Have you ever seen anything duplicated ever? Have you ever seen let me just plug. That's what the Cowboys thought. It doesn't work.
We've talked about that a lot this summer. I agree. It's a theme on the show, kind of. Yeah.
It doesn't work. Replacing guys like that.
I agree. Alfredo checking in. What up, Alfredo? He says, Makuba is going to be a beast. I know it. You and me both, Alfredo.
Where did you see that, Alfredo? In a seance? Well, where'd you see that? In a seance? He's going to be a beast. So let me guess. When he was locking down people at Wake Forest, or he was locking Wake Forest receivers down, you're trying to tell me that
Alfredo, I'm with you, dog. Alfredo, I'm with you, dog. Appreciate you, Alfredo. He says again, Alfredo checking in again. How many times have we had Vic Fangio? And I think he was saying this in response to you saying, well, how many times have you had a number one defense twice in a row?
He's never had one until a year ago in 45 years. But Zander thinks he'll do it in the top 5 again. All right. Yeah. How you doing?
Sileo.
How you doing?
Sileo. I think
All
you're
I
a little,
know.
wait,
all-
Sileo. I think you're a little bit Sileo-ized yourself.
No, I know what's happening this year. This is gonna be a fun year. Holy shit.
Look at Kyle. Kyle, that's no super chat, but that's getting put on the screen, my friend. Put some respect on Zander's name. He predicted the infamous no holes defense.
So what's the
baby.
new name? What's the new name in 2025?
I'll get you a new name. I'm thinking by like late August. Well, at the same time, I dubbed no holes defense. I dubbed it. Remember late August last year.
Here's mine. The USS fucking Titanic.
Oh yeah, because Limburg cheese really worked out for you last.
The USS fucking Titanic. That's
Can you
what it's
imagine,
gonna be.
guys? I would never be caught dead if there was video of me posted all over YouTube calling one of the most historic defenses in Eagles history the Limburg cheese defense all year. It must suck to be Sileo.
Hey, don't worry. I'll be. You know what this will be? Great, unbelievable. This year. It's gonna be the RMS. Excuse me, Titanic.
Oh man,
RMS, baby.
You know
Because
who's
the
coming in?
Keely Ringo. Hey, how long do you think?
Wait,
they
you know
go?
who's coming in with the lifeboat? Fucking Jordan Davis, baby, pulling up in the lifeboat.
Jordan
rescuing them,
Davis
taking
in a
the show off.
lifeboat? Hold on. Jordan Davis will be in a dinghy.
He gets a kayak off the back.
Yeah, he can fit in a kayak. Sure.
Kyle says, here's Kyle. He says, one championship doesn't make a dynasty. What I was a part of in high school, we won oh my gosh. Listen, Kyle.
Championship. doesn't
Kyle,
make
I
a
don't even think
dynasty.
Sileo could defend that one.
I was
You're not
part-
pulling out your effing high school stats, are you on me? Kyle, what'd you play? Pop Warner? Kyle, come on, Kyle. What is this, Pop Warner, dog? Pee-wees? Midgets? Come on, Kyle.
Midgets. Hey, Kyle.
You gotta be kidding me.
Kyle, this is pretty funny because I'm going to give – hey, Kyle, this is for you. I had a guy one night at a bar come up to me. He starts nudging on me going, hey, you know, I got hurt when I was in high school. I made all-city fourth team. I was like, oh, wow, right? And he goes, yeah, but I hurt my knee. That's why I couldn't go to the pros. And I was like, yeah, I got it. I like that guy. That guy's always fucking my guy. How you doing? Hey, what'd you think of your NHL draft with your Flyers?
They're not my Flyers. I hate the Flyers. Flyers.
Were you
stink like
Rangers?
that. Huh?
Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flyers.
You see that kid?
They're going to stink for a long time, by the way, because they still don't have a goaltender. So everybody can celebrate all the drafts, all they want, all the great players, all the cute goals that everybody scores, and the dangles, and all these fun little things. How was Giroux? How was Voracek? How was all the guys who have come through on the city of Philadelphia and have never done shit for the team? They're not building the right way.
How's it feel watching the guy in the Panthers who was a Flyer goaltender win cups?
I think it's funny because I have been on the hilltop since I was a child. My cousins, who are diehard Philly fans through and through, all four, they love the Flyers, love the Phillies, love the Eagles, love the Sixers. They're Philly guys. They used to fight me when we were kids because they played hockey and I played hockey. So when we got together at the holidays, we would debate, me and my brother, with those two. They loved the Flyers. I have been telling them for 20 years now, you guys don't have a goalie.
I know. And they used to have a ton of them. Back in the day, they had a ton. They were developing them. I mean, but I can't think of one in the last 15 years, right?
I mean, listen, anybody that's not a hockey fan that wants the Flyers to be good, just because they like Philly being good, don't expect wins until you get a goalie worth of shit. And Carter Hart was not really that great. All right. I know everything happened legally with him, but he was not really living up to the hype at all when he was playing. Yeah, the Rangers did stink this year. Yeah, you're right about that. But don't have a goalie. Not going to be able to get there, Sills. Man, remember who they lost? They lost to the Blackhawks. What was that? 2009 in the Stanley Cup final. Who was their goalie? Lawton? Layton? Guy got beat from the hash mark on a puck on the ground in overtime to lose the cup. Patrick Kane scored the goal. I'll never forget.
They're just not going anywhere, man.
You can't win in the NHL without great goaltending. It's like Sills, why is like half of the movie Miracle? And I know it's a movie, but why is half of it Jim Craig making saves?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
when you need to
That's right.
win big games in hockey, it's like a quarterback. If you don't have a goalie, doesn't matter how good Connor McDavid is, doesn't matter how good Ovechkin is. If your guy's not stopping the puck and giving you a chance to win, it would be the equivalent of a defense giving up 45 points in a game of football and thinking you're going to win. You're not.
I watched Dominic Hasek take a Buffalo Sabres team that was the 8th seed all the way to the Cup Finals in a Game 7.
Man. He's one of the best.
When you get guys like that, like you said, I mean, look at what you had in New Jersey forever in goal, right? I mean, those
Kyle,
guys,
I love you, dog, but I can't believe you brought up your high school having a dynasty 7-10. Dog, your high school can't hold a candle to the NFL. Kyle, take that take, shove it up your keister, and hopefully you bounce back tomorrow with a better day.
Damn, Kyle.
That was an awful.
Damn. He just ran you over like a Zamboni.
Well,
how you doing?
Still, even you chuckled at that take. Wait a second. My high school had a dynasty. What? What?
Hey, come on, Kyle. Really? Don't bring the high school. What are you, the Guy Bundy?
All right, I think we got. Let me make sure we got all the super chat.
Yeah, right.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Park Alexander. What up, Park? Checking in, man. He says this is a perfect storm for the Eagles. When they repeat, they will have 21 or more draft picks to three-peat. Go Eagles. Wow. Park, and the way they're drafting, they could have the best teams are yet to come, Park.
Repeating. Holy shit.
Sileo is
holy cow. You are not repeating.
You are seething right now.
You are not repeating. No, it's funny. You're not repeating. Now, I will say this. I do believe you're going to win another one in the next 3 years. I do. I do. It ain't going to be this year.
I love this guy. Your coach stinks. Your quarterback stinks. You guys got another Super Bowl coming.
Yeah, because of what? Because of your GM, not because of your fucked up coach. And by the way, and your caboose, as long as wait a minute, it's really going to determine if Barkley's healthy or not over the next couple. It's not going to be whether or not you have your
Look at Kyle. Now he's look. Kyle realized he made one of the worst takes on the planet Earth, and now he's calling me entitled. Alexa, listen, son. I see an entitled kid. Kyle. Oh, Kyle. I'm sure you, Kyle. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Kyle.
Oh, what
bro,
a shit take again.
Hey, Kyle, I love you to death, but man, these are 2 in a row. Nah, I'm not telling you. You're 0 for 2, bro.
Cold streak for Kyle. That's what's
Holy
happening.
Shit. All right, Big Z. Hey, Zander. Great stuff. This is what are we? 22 tomorrow. We're 21 days out from camp, right?
Let's see where we are. How many days until July? 22 days until they report. 23 days from them being on the football field.
Holy cow. Oh, man. On to me, man. I cannot. This is gonna be the greatest year I've had in broadcasting. Do you know how many W's I'm going to fucking ring up? Like I said, 1,500 yards for my boy Barkley, about 1,100 yards for AJ, about 850 for Devontae. The defense will be around 12 or 13. The offense will be 12, 13. They'll get bounced in the divisional round, and then they'll end up moving on with their picks in 2026. They'll move on from some players. They'll sign your boys, and you'll be ready to roll. It's all good. I can't wait for Keely Ringo.
I think that's a repeat I smell.
Oh, a repeat. That's because in Philly, you guys are known for repeating. I can't wait for this.
Jalen Hurts has bucked every trend that's happened in this city. He'll buck another one, including your shit takes.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. All right. Hey, Big Z, you guys are killing it, and I appreciate you, brother. I'll see you in the morning.
All right, Sills. I love you, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Love all you guys. Appreciate it.
You got it. That is Zander Krause. How you doing? Please hit the like button there. By the way, Gary Cobb is going to join us. Gary Cobb got inducted into a Hall of Fame. He got inducted into a Hall of Fame, and so he's going to be basically showing up at a Hall of Fame. Mark this down. Redskins will trade for T.J. Watt. Like it. I like it. Whoa. T.J. Watt on the Redskins. Sounds like a monster movie. Man. T.J. Watt to Washington. Or, hey, Kyle, don't go to sleep on Trey Hendrickson. Don't go to sleep on Trey. That could be too, dude. Let's see here. Look at this take. How half-assed this is. Still says a dual-threat quarterback would never win a Super Bowl. Jalen proves Senorita Sills wrong. Senorita did play great in that game. That's about it. It wasn't the NFC title game. He was a caboose the rest of the year. How you doing? Pull up next to the Barkley train. Jalen got on the Barkley train. You know, I had a guy posting shit over on my Twitter. Jalen Hurts had the third worst passing game in football last year. And the best running attack. Yeah, Senor. He was on the Barkley Express. You know what it does? It goes right up the East Coast, the Barkley Express. Takes a left on I-10, goes across the Barkley Express. Then the little red caboose in the back is Hurts back there with Meghan Markle and Oprah. Was Mahomes' caboose for the Chiefs letting their defense carry them to the Super Bowl? No, because he doesn't play with anybody. I mean, look at this guy. My God, like I said, there's not one guy in the fucking huddle of the Chiefs except Creed Humphrey on offense that could start in Philly.